Make sure. Hello, good day, and welcome here in Venture Capital TV from La Token. My name is Javier Borja, and as usual, in every session, we bring you the innovation, technology, and solutions you want to hear about. During all our sessions, you get to hear directly from the CEOs or the founders of the upcoming projects. Today, I'm very glad to present a great project that I have a special interest in, ShapeShift, represented by the head of Decentralization, Willie Ogrzali. Willie, how are you?
Best day ever. How are you doing, Javier?
Great, great. Really happy to have you here.
Honored to be here. Thanks for having me.
Before we move on to the interview, as a reminder to our viewers, you can always share previous shows and content by visiting latoken.com. Also, follow us on our socials like Facebook and Twitter. And if you're watching us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button because you'll always be informed of great content, opportunities, and even giveaways. Again, for our viewers, something important, remember that anything mentioned here is not any type of financial advice. Do your research before making any decisions. It is your choices and your responsibility. So with that said, Willie, I think it's time to start. We have quite a few interesting questions ready for you. So if you don't mind, can you please tell us where you're from, and if you could tell us a little bit about the project itself?
Yeah, you bet. I'm from Austin, Texas, originally. Right now, I'm in Superior, Colorado, right between Denver and Boulder, Colorado. ShapeShift has been around for a while, actually. So ShapeShift itself now is a DAO. So the DAO is not based in any specific location. It exists on the blockchain and is fully global and borderless. But ShapeShift, before a DAO, started in 2014. And it was the first place where you could trade crypto from your own wallet across chain, non-custodially. So ShapeShift was originally founded by Eric Voorhees in 2014 in the wake of Mt. Gox. And for anyone who was around during Mt. Gox, you remember what a disaster it was. I think about 80% of Bitcoin was being traded on this one centralized exchange. And then one day it got hacked. And people learned the lesson the hard way that if it's not your keys, it's not your coins.
And that was a Japanese company, right?
It was, based out of Japan. And so Eric Voorhees started ShapeShift as a solution to this problem. And it was the first way that you could trade crypto from your own wallet without sacrificing custody. It was like the analogy was like a vending machine. So there was a split second, of course, just like a vending machine where you put your money in and you wait for your soda to come out. ShapeShift was a lot like that, where you put crypto A in and we'd send you crypto B. And so there was just a split second of trust, minimized trust. And you can imagine, if a vending machine didn't give you soda, you'd stop using that vending machine. So that model worked really well, and it quickly became the most popular way to trade crypto from your own wallet without just depositing it onto a centralized exchange and giving up custody.
Okay, got it. Well, thank you for that overview of the market. And now, concretely, can you tell us a little bit more about ShapeShift and the ShapeShift DAO that you have?
You bet. So ShapeShift has shapeshifted quite a bit since its original form back in 2014. And in 2021, we announced that we were integrating DEX protocols, 0x and Thorchain, and we sunset our own exchange. So we realized that these new DEX protocols that had emerged since ShapeShift was originally founded were achieving the original vision of ShapeShift better than we could as a centralized organization where we were the counterparty to every trade. So we embraced the change. We integrated 0x, all the top DEXs on Ethereum. We integrated Thorchain for cross-chain trading, and we sunset our own trading engine. And then in July, we announced that we were going full DAO, and we were dissolving the centralized ShapeShift corporation and transitioning control of the future of ShapeShift to our Fox token holders. So Fox is the governance token of the ShapeShift DAO. And in this new world, you can think of ShapeShift as the interface to all chains. So the interface to DeFi, the interface to NFTs and other decentralized applications, and across all the chains, not just Ethereum, not just Bitcoin, not just Cosmos, but ShapeShift has always believed in a multi-chain future. So you can think about ShapeShift as making it really easy for any individual with their own wallet and their own keys to interact with all the applications across all the chains.
Yeah, because I can read on your website, it says that 750 plus cryptocurrencies supported across 11 blockchains.
Exactly, and we're just getting started. We hope, especially in this new decentralized form, where all of our code is open source, that other blockchains can come add themselves. And I believe that the days of every blockchain having their own wallet are limited, because building a wallet and maintaining a wallet is really hard. And it's only getting harder because now you have to integrate fiat on and off ramps and trading and bridges. And it's either every chain can go build out that functionality themselves, or they can add themselves to the ShapeShift stack, and we'll provide a free, open source, and soon decentralized interface to their chain.
So if I understood correctly, then any blockchain out there can go and add themselves up?
Exactly. The ShapeShift, it's fully open source from the entire stack, all the way from HD Wallet, where you can add support for your blockchain to multiple wallets in one library, to our web interface, where users can actually see their balances, their TX history, build transactions, broadcast them, to chain adapters and Unchained. So even the backend side, which enables anybody running Unchained to run nodes to provide your data from your blockchain to end users.
And just to understand, and for our viewers also to grasp it, one of the biggest frustrations I think right now in the market is, like, if you go to one of the big exchanges, you're particularly interested in one specific project. You go there and you can't find it, right? Then you have to go on and see where that project is available so you can participate. And then you would go there and open an account with them, which is all the hassle and funding and so on. So what you're saying here is that with ShapeShift, it can overcome that problem, because
Exactly.
that
And you don't
blockchain
even
can basically go to you and just be listed themselves, right?
Exactly. In fact, you don't even have to go to the exchange with ShapeShift. So if you go to ShapeShift right now, you can actually trade across chain Bitcoin for Ethereum in a fully decentralized way with no KYC and without trusting any centralized party at any point in the flow. And it's free. We're not putting any fees on top of the
On top, it's
protocol.
free. Okay.
Mm-hmm. There are protocol fees. So
Yeah.
all these DEXs that we integrate, there's protocol fees that are unavoidable, but it will not cost you any more to use those protocols via ShapeShift than if you were to go directly to those protocols on chain.
Okay. And as far as I know, this must be the first company who's doing this, right?
Yeah, we believe so. There's companies that are similar that I guess are focused maybe on just one chain, giving users free access to a single chain or all the EVM, all the Ethereum virtual machine chains. But on ShapeShift, yeah, we're taking that and we're doing it for all chains. And what's really unique is that we're doing it in a decentralized way, which we think is critical in order for us to achieve this decentralized future that we believe in. We all like to, LARP that we're decentralized, but at the end of the day, a lot of these decentralized applications are relying on centralized infrastructure. And when you have centralized infrastructure, it can be censored. And so we are building the decentralized infrastructure to enable us to really achieve this decentralized future that we're also excited about.
Oh wow, that's impressive. That's really good. I think that's a major differentiator right now, what you just said.
And it's not an easy problem to solve, but ShapeShift, we have 7 years of some of the brightest minds in the industry who have been focused on solving these problems. So we think we're in a good position, and we know it's ambitious, and but it's a challenge that we think somebody needs to solve, and we think we're in a good position to solve it.
And just out of curiosity, it says here, okay, you have 750 plus currencies at the moment. How many would you plan or expect to have by the end of the year?
Yeah, we really want to support all currencies. And so I think that number is outdated. I think right now we're probably well over 1,000. But that's still not enough. And just to your point too, you mentioned that example of, like, as an individual, there's a project you care about, right? And as soon as you can't access that project on whatever tool you're used to using, whatever exchange or wallet that you're used to using, you're going to go find an interface that does give you access to it, right? Or an application that does give you access to it. So we really believe in, but it's hard to do, right? It's hard for a single project to add thousands themselves. So we've built the open source libraries where any project can come add themselves, because we think that's probably the only way to be able to keep up with an infinite and a rapidly accelerating expansion of projects.
Definitely. I can see that a lot of the different blockchains will come to you to sort of get listed, have more access to different traders. Now we're talking about decentralization. Why did the company decentralize? Why was that so paramount, so fundamental for you guys?
Great question. I promise it was not just for the buzzword hype.
Yeah.
We really believed that decentralizing ShapeShift was the best way to achieve our vision. And we had experience of the challenges of doing blockchain stuff as a centralized organization, and how these outdated regulations make it really difficult to innovate. So we really believe that in order to achieve our vision, the best way to do that was as a decentralized organization. And we're already seeing the benefits validating this assumption. ShapeShift right now is moving faster than we ever moved as a centralized organization. And the reason for that is our community. by decentralizing, we transitioned ownership from just the small group of ShapeShift employees and investors to our entire community. It was the biggest airdrop in history. And now we have over 30,000 token holders who collectively control the future of ShapeShift. And we get the benefits of the wisdom of the crowd. And right now we have like 11 work streams working on different projects together. We're moving in all these different directions at once. And like before at ShapeShift, everything was we were very secretive, and it was like everything we could produce was based on the output of our internal team. But now those barriers are broken, and anyone in the community can jump into the ShapeShift Discord and propose an idea and get funding for it in a matter of weeks through the governance process and execute on it.
Wow.
And the magic of that is so powerful. And that's why I believe that these DAOs are the future of work. I will never go work for a centralized corporation again.
Okay. So that was going to be my next question, but I think you already answered. What was the reaction of the community?
The community was really excited. I mean, ShapeShift's been around for a while, so we're a very well-known project. But unfortunately, I mean, we had been forced to go in a direction different that didn't fully align with our original vision due to the evolving regulations. So ShapeShift had a much better reputation in our pre-KYC days. So back in 2017 and before, you didn't have to sign up. You could just come to ShapeShift and trade one asset for another. In 2018, we had to implement KYC due to the regulations. And ShapeShift became a lot less useful. It hurt our user experience because now you had to create an account, and users don't want to create an account, and they don't want to submit their ID. They just want to trade. So when we announced that we were removing KYC and embracing the decentralized exchange protocols and going full DAO and transitioning ownership of ShapeShift to our community of past users, over 1 million unique addresses, it was amazing to see the reaction. And it was night and day compared to when we announced that we were implementing KYC. The community was not happy about it. When we announced that we were decentralizing, it was overwhelmingly positive feedback. Which was
okay. So it went
awesome
from no KYC to KYC to no KYC, right?
Exactly. And it feels great to be back to no KYC once again.
Yeah, I know, because anywhere you go right now in any of these other fintechs, it's really like KYC. That's the new normal right now. So it's great that you can provide that. I bet there was a big buzz around it. Going on, thank you for that. Thank you for that answer. Going on, what is ShapeShift's mission in the crypto space? Like, what are you trying to accomplish?
Yeah, it's a good question. I'll go ahead and I'll read you our current mission and vision, but I'll let you know too that right now we're actually in the process of just updating this vision and mission and doing it on the DAO level as well as the product level and doing it with the community. So the mission and vision I'm going to share with you right now is one that ShapeShift came up with pre-DAO. Going forward, this mission and vision is determined by the community. And if anyone wants to come get involved with that, we're in the process right now of having these open discussions that anybody can come join.
Okay.
So our current vision for ShapeShift is that we envision a borderless financial system built upon open and decentralized protocols. And our mission is to be the pathway into that borderless financial system, an open source, multi-chain, and self-custody crypto platform enabling billions to achieve financial sovereignty.
Okay, very good. Very good. Thank you. To our viewers, you can drop us your comments in the chat that you have on the right side. We would love to hear from you. And remember, you can always learn more about ShapeShift by visiting the website, where you can see down below on your screen, which is ShapeShift.com. Please educate yourself, learn more about it. They have all the rest of the relevant information that you would like to know about. Please do check it out. I encourage our viewers very much to do that. Well, let's continue. I believe you have a presentation for us you would like to share.
I don't have any kind of presentation ready. I can always pull some stuff up there if you guys want to see some visuals.
Please do.
Yeah, cool. Sounds good. Yeah. Let me share my screen here. All right. Can you see this?
Yes.
All right. So yeah, here's that vision and mission statement I was just telling you guys about. So the problem that ShapeShift is solving, there's a couple problems. One is that custodial crypto is centralized. And by its nature, if you're centralized, there's risks, there's regulatory burdens, and there's costs. It's costly to be a custodian. But on the flip side, non-custodial crypto isn't perfect either. It's risky in its own ways. It's difficult. and it typically requires multiple wallets and tools. So what ShapeShift is providing is the interface to the decentralized universe that satisfies each of the following. It's non-custodial and multi-wallet. It's multi-chain. It's open source, community-owned as a DAO, decentralized, and free. We really believe that the interface to the centralized universe should satisfy the following. But right now, there's just nothing out there that actually checks all of those boxes. So that's what we're building. Right now, you can use ShapeShift as a mobile app, as well as on the web. And you can actually have the same wallet in your mobile app connected on web and use them on both devices. We're also exploring bringing ShapeShift wherever users want to be, whether it's browser extension, desktop app. I like to joke that maybe one day we'll have an Alexa app. But yeah, I mean, really, we are very platform agnostic. And again, we just want to be that pathway between users and the blockchains. Yeah. Earlier, we mentioned about how this is free, right? So right now, ShapeShift's not putting any fees on top of any of the stuff we do. How is that sustainable? This model shows one of our first partnerships. We have a number of revenue streams coming into the ShapeShift DAO right now. Next week, we're launching a brand new one, and it's a partnership with Yearn. If you guys aren't familiar with Yearn, it is one of the top DeFi protocols for earning yield on individual assets. So right now on app.shapeshift.com, you can deposit to Yearn, and you can earn the same yield on your assets that you would get if you went directly to Yearn's own interface or if you went directly to the Yearn contracts on chain. But if you use it through ShapeShift, then the ShapeShift DAO earns affiliate revenue. And this is not live yet, but what the DAO can do is we can actually reward users who use Yearn or any other protocol that we do this affiliate revenue partnership with. We can reward them with Fox tokens, and that's what makes this model sustainable. And what this means is that ShapeShift can become the best way. I already think it is the best way. Go check out the UI UX for using Yearn on ShapeShift. It's beautiful. But what's even more important is that you're going to not only have a great open source, community-owned, free interface, but you can actually earn more yield by using Yearn through ShapeShift via these affiliate revenue partnerships and this model where we can sustainably reward Fox tokens to users who help generate revenues for the DAO. So this same model can apply to really any crypto service. Whatever crypto users want to do, we don't care how the protocol or the crypto service provider earns their revenue or how they make their pie. We just want a slice of the pie for the value that we add. And we're seeing that a growing number of these protocols and services are happy to provide a share of their revenues with an interface like ShapeShift for the value that we add. So yeah, as you mentioned, we support right now over 750 currencies across 11 blockchains. And what I'm really excited about is for blockchains to be able to come add themselves to ShapeShift, because it was a lot of work for us to add them all themselves. ShapeShift in the past was not open source. We had some open source stuff, but a lot of what we did was closed source. Now everything is open source, and anyone can come add their own blockchain, and that's really powerful. And
sorry for this question, but when that happens, okay, it's open source and they can go and they can integrate themselves. Then do they have to pass through a KYC process?
Great question. No, there is no. It's permissionless. Okay. There's no. They obviously have to get their pull request merged, but if their code works, it's in ShapeShift workstreams engineers' best interest to merge that code. There's no KYC process, and furthermore, ShapeShift has integrated ThorChain for cross-chain trading, which is also permissionless. And any chain that comes and adds themselves to ShapeShift can also go add themselves to ThorChain. And then when you're added to ThorChain and ShapeShift, now your users can trade your asset cross-chain without any KYC or without having to get listed on an exchange. So it doesn't solve yet the fiat on-off ramp that you will still need to use an exchange for that. But once you're in crypto land, it makes a lot of sense for a chain to come get themselves added to ShapeShift and ThorChain, because then it gives users the ability to trade their asset cross-chain.
And another question, sorry, I'm full of questions, sorry for that. I'm sure that we have a lot of traders, and not only traders, a lot of people that are planning or have their own project, and this will be like very important for them. So I'm just thinking from their point of view, how long on average would it take them to be listed, to fully integrate?
That's a great question. We're trying to make it as easy as possible. And right now, the ShapeShift engineering workstream is working on support for Cosmos, any Cosmos zone. And the goal, one of the acceptance criteria for this feature work they're doing, is that any engineer would be able to come add a new Cosmos zone within 1 day. And that's just we're just talking about the core functionality: send, receive, staking. But they could do that work in one day. Similarly, for Thorchain, I don't know how difficult it is right now to add yourself, but I assume it's very easy. Thorchain itself is a Cosmos zone, and once one Cosmos zone is supported on Thorchain, it should be relatively low lift to add all these other Cosmos zones, because the way it's built is that they have so many similarities. So it depends on each chain and the nuances of each chain. But the goal is to make it as easy as possible. And that's the cool thing about open source, is that if anyone can make it easier, which obviously, there's developers all around the world and part of all these communities who have the skills to make it easier, they can come make those pull requests, and we have this big treasury of Fox tokens to reward any developer who comes and adds value to these open source repos.
I think that's what happens when you add decentralization on an open source. Because if you see, in comparing to other exchanges out there, for a listing, it can take 3 to 4 weeks.
Absolutely. It's the same. Right? That permissionless capability is so powerful. And it's the difference between even, the ShapeShift of the past and Uniswap. ShapeShift, we felt how difficult it was to add new assets to our own exchange. There was a whole listing process and legal review that we had to go through for every asset. But then Uniswap came along, and anybody could just come create a new asset and add it the same day. And that was a complete game changer. So we want to bring that same permissionless capability to wallets and blockchains.
Okay, fantastic. Really interesting. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm excited. My hope is that we'll see ShapeShift becomes the default wallet for blockchains. I think even new blockchains that haven't been created yet, they can either build their own wallet or they can add themselves to ShapeShift. And our goal is to make it a no-brainer for them to add themselves to ShapeShift versus trying to build and maintain their own wallet. And we know how hard it is to build and maintain wallets. And the network effects around this, as you guys can probably imagine, are really powerful. Every new chain that gets added to ShapeShift makes the overall ShapeShift platform more compelling, more useful, and that creates some really strong network effects. And network effects in this open source and decentralized world are really like the most, possibly the only sustainable competitive advantage, right? Like the code we write is no longer a sustainable competitive advantage because anyone can come fork it. But the network effects in our community cannot be forked. So that's why a big part of our focus with everything we're doing is how can we maximize our network effects? Because if everything we're building is open source and decentralized, we need to make sure that we are providing competitive value sustainably. And the power of networks is incredible if you can unlock these network effects. I'll skip this slide. Fox token has a growing number of utilities. Some of these, before we went to a DAO, we had some really cool programs with Fox where you could earn Fox back on trading. Whenever someone traded on ShapeShift, another user won USDC based on how much Fox tokens they held. You could get gas fee reimbursements based on how much Fox you held. But as we transition to a DAO, these programs that were operated by centralized ShapeShift are no longer operating. And it is up to Fox token holders to decide what the Fox token benefits are going forward. There's actually a really cool, so a lot of this is in motion. One proposal that, or bounty that got accepted just this past week was proposed by Eric Voorhees. And it's to create Foxy, which is a staking contract where you'll be able to stake your Fox tokens and earn more Fox tokens. And the Fox tokens rewarded to stakers will be based on the revenues generated by the DAO. So we're really excited about that. And it's going to be the first kind of staking contract of its kind. There's some really innovative stuff we're doing there. And it's possible that we'll take that same staking contract and offer it to other DAOs who want to give their token holders the ability to stake tokens and earn more tokens sustained by the revenues that the DAO generates without having those tokens just sitting idly doing nothing. So lots of really cool, exciting Fox token benefits coming down the pipe. And again, it's up to Fox token holders. So if you're a Fox token holder and you've got an idea for how to make Fox better, we'd love to hear it.
So really, it's really about all the community. They're just giving you ideas, and if the ideas is worth it, then you guys will implement it, right?
It is all about the community. That is exactly right, sir. That is the power of these DAOs, and we have such an amazing community at ShapeShift. So you can see already we're less than 6 months into this launching the DAO and migrating to a DAO. We've already had 48 proposals from community members go all the way through the governance process. And you can see them here. And if you have 100 Fox tokens, you can make your own proposal. And the only way to get funds out of this treasury is to get Fox token holders to approve your proposal. So we've got a big treasury ready to deploy to proposals that Fox token holders think will grow that overall value of the treasury. So yeah, I'm just a community member, and we are, it's all about our community. So we're trying to bring as many talented and aligned individuals into our community as we can.
And now that we have that on screen, if somebody wants to join your community, how do they do that? Do they simply go to shapeshift.com, and from there let's follow the
there's shapeshift.com is a great place to start. When you come here, let's see if this will be a good test. Let's see if I can figure out how to do it. There's this great blog post you can read just about the whole move to a DAO and about ShapeShift's history. Definitely recommend checking out this blog post. We're going to go over to Fox token resources now and governance. And this kind of shows you how to get involved and join the community. Okay. So you can go straight to the governance portal where you can view or submit proposals and vote on proposals if you have Fox tokens, or you can jump into our Discord. And this is really where the action happens. So you can see right now we got a vibrant community. No matter how hard I try, I can't keep up with all the messages because there's just so much going on every day. We got people hanging out, engineers, screen sharing, building cool stuff. We've got marketing team, we got product team, tokenomics team, so much cool stuff happening. We got all these partners hanging out in here. So definitely, if you really want to get involved, Discord's where most of the action's happening. We got a forum for kind of more formal discussions. You can see very active here just in the past day. Lots of ideas getting fleshed out. Lots of great brain power in here. And then, of course, follow us on Twitter. That's a great place to stay up to date, just the most important announcements. And hey, look, we got the LA token interview right here.
All right, there we go. There we are. It's working because, yes, please stop there, because we have to show this, because we are getting a lot of questions right now on this show. However, the reason why I haven't been popping up the questions on screen is because there's a giveaway. Now, for those people that are not aware of it, the giveaway is that there will be 2,000 Fox to deliver to the best questions made to the project. So please go there. You can find this on shapeshift.com. You can also find it on the Token's Twitter account. There's the news, there's the link. Those people have been posting the questions today in this show live. Please take some questions because they're great ones and place it there. You will be able to qualify for a reward. So that's the reason why, to our dear viewers, I'm not popping up the questions, because I encourage you to put those questions there in this giveaway. You will be able to qualify for a reward once again. So that's the reason I'm a bit holding back on all the questions we're getting. But trust me, there's really good questions, very valid. But let's save them for the giveaway. Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for bringing that up, Willie. Now, I was going to talk about the Fox token and its benefits, but you already cleared that out. Okay, so that part is clear.
Do you want some alpha on Fox that we haven't talked about yet?
Please do.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is something I expect to see a proposal for this in the forum in the next week or so. We got some community members working on it. I've had the pleasure of seeing a sneak peek of the draft. But we're building something called, let me see if I can find it here, called Fox Chain. If you're interested in Fox Chain, let's see, you might be able to find, there's some good tweet threads here. Michael Perklin, who was our former Chief Information and Security Officer at ShapeShift, has presented this concept to the community. And we're building our own blockchain. And the purpose of this blockchain is going to be to incentivize node operators to run nodes for any of the chains ShapeShift supports and provide that blockchain data to end users, whether those are ShapeShift users or users of any interface that actually wants to be decentralized. So right now, if you use ShapeShift, beta.shapeshift.com, you're talking to ShapeShift servers. ShapeShift servers are running these nodes and providing that blockchain data to end users. And that's a central point of failure. What Fox Chain is going to do is provide a decentralized network where users can get blockchain data from any chain supported, as well as broadcast data to these blockchains. And they won't be going through a centralized provider, but through this decentralized network of node providers that are incentivized to run these nodes by the Fox Chain. And Fox will be the token that that these validators have to stake, and it will also be the token that they receive in fees from applications that actually want to be decentralized. Wow. So that's some alpha for the call. Expect to see a proposal around that in the forum. In the coming week.
This will eventually happen.
It's happening. We are down it. Yep. Ultimately, this is going to be, the proposal is going to ratify this from the community, but there's been really strong support because this is something that we believe is really critical. It needs to exist not only for our own needs. We've identified needing it for our own platform, but we realize that every application is going to need this, and no one is solving this. So very excited, and couldn't think of a better team and community to build and launch this than the ShapeShift community.
Perfect. That is great. We're really looking forward for that.
Fox now, chain. Yeah. Go
ahead. Now, going a little bit fast forward, what is the project roadmap, and where do you see the project going to be in the next, let's say, 3 years?
3 years. Oh man, that's like 30 years in crypto years. So I love zooming out into the future. So let's check it out. Let's go right into the governance portal, and we can actually see the latest roadmap that is approved by the community. This was approved back in October. We've actually already made a lot of progress through this. So a lot of these features that were prioritized back then are now live on app.shapeshift.com. We've built them and delivered on this roadmap. And we're actually working on, you can see an updated roadmap in our Notion. This is all public stuff, so you can check this out. You can see, let me see if I can zoom out a little bit here. Oops. Sorry, I got lost there. Here we go. You can see status, progress for each of these. But I'm working on a brand new blog post with the community that really dives a little bit deeper into each of these and paints kind of the whole picture of what we're focused on for 2022. A lot of the stuff we've been talking about today. So stay tuned. That I think is going to really help paint the picture. But yeah, ultimately, the cool thing is that the roadmap is decided by the community, and it's very fluid. And so you can see the things that are in progress right now. We're very agile, and crypto changes quickly. So ultimately, we're building whatever the community agrees is the most important features and functionality for ShapeShift to provide.
And when they for all these people to come to an agreement, how does that work on a voting system?
Yeah, so you can see the proposal. This proposal had complete support. So we had a couple community calls where we presented this to the community. Obviously, before that, there was a lot of interaction between the product work stream and the engineering work stream and the community on just doing research and making a proposal for what those work streams felt was the most valuable roadmap to focus on. And then, we presented that to the community. We got their feedback. We refined it. And then we put up this proposal after we had taken in all of the collective feedback from the community. And what's so cool about that is that you end up with a roadmap that has the wisdom of the crowd, the benefits from the wisdom of the crowd, and that everyone feels very aligned on, because it's not just one department or one individual saying this is the roadmap, one CEO saying here's what we're building. It's from the bottom up. Every token holder can come participate, which again is amazing, and you end up with a better roadmap as a result. So.
Yeah, I think to welcome so many different ideas, it also, I think, gives to the community a sense of belonging.
Absolutely. Right? And that's what we're all lacking, especially after this pandemic, right? We just want to belong.
Exactly. Okay, that is great. Now, we already spoke about the Fox chain. What does it do? Now, how does ShapeShift see itself fitting in the crypto space in the future? And why should people use ShapeShift?
Yeah, I really see ShapeShift as being the bridge. So we have all these the users over here, the masses, the billions of the world that we want to get onto these blockchains, right? Right now, most of them are over here. Why is that, right? Well, one reason is that it's really hard, and there's a lack of education, right? And that is something that ShapeShift has always done so well. If you go use any of our apps, you'll see it's a great user experience, and we make it easy for people who have even no crypto experience to get started. We've always done that really well. So it's a big problem to solve, and it's not only about education. There's those other requirements that I mentioned. Being multi-wallet, being open source, multi-chain, community-owned, free. We believe that all of those really need to exist to bridge the masses to this decentralized future. I think that getting society into the decentralized world is one of the most beneficial things that we can do for society across the board. Giving everybody access to DeFi, to these decentralized applications, and to self-sovereign finance, I think is going to be so beneficial to the world. So I can't think of a more valuable endeavor to invest my own energies into. And I believe there's so many cool projects out there. And what's cool about ShapeShift is that we're not just doing one thing. We are providing that critical bridge that supports all of these amazing projects, which, as you mentioned, there's thousands of them, right? And there's new projects popping up every single day.
Yeah.
And instead of me just or any of us in the ShapeShift community picking one project to focus our energy into, we can support all these projects, which I think is just so cool.
Exactly, because usually one question we make in the show is what's your differentiator versus other companies, but that's an assumption that you see other companies not maybe a little bit as threats or as competition. Where here, ShapeShift is taking another stand in which there's not really competition. You just want to help all the other blockchains.
Totally.
Itself.
And yeah, exactly. I love that. I love not competing and just being friends, because I love all these projects. We're all working towards the same goal, right? We're all on the same team here. Our competition is like the banks, legacy finance and stuff. That's our competition. And it's very hard for these banks to compete with a free open source community owned platform that gives people access to the best protocols that are constantly innovating at a much faster pace than banks could even imagine.
No, I think it's a fantastic concept. And of course, why people should use ShapeShift? Well, because it's bringing together all the blockchain community almost, right? All the any different project that popping up can immediately be listed there. Like as you said, probably in one day. Then what's better than that?
It's a great point, and I think if you believe in like multi-chain, ShapeShift community is a great community for you, because there's a lot of maximalists out there, and ShapeShift. If you're a maximalist, you probably don't like ShapeShift, right? If you just think Bitcoin is the only coin and nothing else matters, then you can use ShapeShift to send and receive Bitcoin, but you're probably just going to go use a Bitcoin wallet because you don't want to see all these other chains and stuff like that. So, but if you believe in multi-chain, then you come to the ShapeShift community, and it's a community that is not going to judge. They're going to be open to hearing about these new blockchains and innovations, because we don't care about any specific blockchain necessarily. We care about decentralization and giving users access to decentralized finance and self-sovereignty. And whichever blockchain can do that, we've loved watching things like innovations like Ethereum and Cosmos come after Bitcoin, and we still love Bitcoin, right? But we do believe that there's value in specialization and in innovation and experimentation. So we very much believe in a multi-chain future.
I think there can be a healthy competition even within the different blockchains, and this competition just helps them improve. Because if one chain has a different fork or has a 2.0 coming out, then the other one's the one left behind, and they're gonna go for it, try to improve that, and they're gonna raise the bar. So at the end of the day, it's all beneficial for the community.
Agreed. So, it's great for competition, and it's great for decentralization, right? If we have more chains, then we're less centralized, we're less dependent on any one single chain succeeding. Yeah.
Versus you compare that to traditional finance. There is competition, and it's really tough, and I hate you, and that's it. There's no cooperation. Here is completely the opposite. So I think that's the wonderful part of it. On top of that, I think that from what I see, the behavior of the traders, the more educated they are, the better they can spot a very interesting and project with potential. So as you said before, they're not going to be only focusing on one, let's say Bitcoin, but I think they're much more open-minded, and they're trying to find out what's the next big project, and then they can come here to ShapeShift because most probably they will find it here.
Yeah, or if it's not here, we want to hear about it, and we want to get it added if it's an interesting project. And that's another thing, ShapeShift. We've always been very early on these innovations, early supporters of Ethereum, of the original DAO, of Cosmos. And part of that is because we have this really brilliant community of some of the best experts in the space who have been working in this space for years and have a really unique and rare ability to spot valuable innovations early on.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Willie, for all this information. We're reaching the end of the show, but once again, I would like to remind our viewers that there's a giveaway, okay? And the basis of the giveaway is to come up with the best questions for the project for ShapeShift. This will be reviewed at the end of by next week. There will be a giveaway of 2,000 Fox. This will be announced. So please go to whether it's shapeshift.com to get there to the community. You will see it, or go to latoken.com or even to our Twitter account in La Token. And there you'll be able to find the link. So with that said, Willie, do you have any final recommendations for our viewers today?
If anyone's liking what they're hearing, come join the ShapeShift community. We are such a welcome community. And if you're interested in this whole DAO stuff, like I really encourage you to give it a try. I think you're going to love it, especially if you're into crypto. If you're looking to get involved with the crypto project, just DAO it. And we have, again, an amazing community in the Discord right now, 24/7, ready to welcome you with open arms, answer any questions you have, and help guide you if you actually want to get involved and start contributing and earn some Fox tokens. So I hope to see a bunch of you guys in the ShapeShift Discord. And I'm at Willie Fox if you want to tag me. Happy to say hi, and if you have questions, point you in the right direction.
Perfect. Willie, thank you very much for your time, for all this information, this valuable information. I'm sure our traders are loving it. And we do hope to see you later in the show again when you have any new updates for us. And to our viewers, please visit ShapeShift.com. Educate yourself more about the project. All information is there. All the social media. Do get in contact with them. Do your research, please. So with that said, Willie, thank you very much once again. Have a great reminder of the day, and the same to our viewers.
Thanks so much, Javier. See you guys.
Bye. Take care. Bye-bye.